solid fighter, 19-0, beat a couple decent fighters. So it's not gonna be a cakewalk. I'm ready for him.
Do you feel like, I mean, they always say styles make boxing. How much have you seen? How much tape have you seen on him, and do you feel like you guys are compatible in there together?
Not too much film. I leave that for my coaches to handle. And then while I'm in the ring, I make the adjustments. So they make the game plan, I make the adjustments.
Okay, Van, is that it?
Yeah, that's it. That's all I have for. One more thing, Tramaine.
Go ahead.
Tramaine, the weigh-in is kind of like you guys sizing each other up. What's going through your mind when you're at a weigh-in? Are you looking at your opponent, thinking like, wondering what he's thinking, and kind of getting an idea of how confident he might be or might not be?
No, I'm only worried about myself. How confident I am. I look into his eyes to see what I could decipher, see what I could take from him. But I'm just in tune with myself. I'm only thinking about what I'm thinking about, and I'm worried about myself. Can't be worried about the other fighter too much. You're not worried about yourself.
Okay, Van, thank you very much. Our next question is from Ryan O'Hara. Ryan, your line is live.
Hey, how's it going, Tramaine?
What's up? How you doing?
Great, man. Obviously, this is a huge opportunity for you. That, obviously not pretty much none of us saw this coming. But now you got a chance to fight for the junior featherweight title. Are you nervous at all? For this fight?
Every fight is a little bit of anxiety, and you get a little nervous for every fight. Another fight, another day.
And you still go by the name of Mighty Midget?
The Mighty Midget, yes.
All right, and based off what the other reporter was saying, you haven't really looked much into your opponent. So how are you going to take the first couple rounds? Are you looking to feel out your opponent for a few and try to compute his moves? You're just gonna fight smart?
You just have to tune in Saturday night.
That is what I'm gonna do. Thank you very much.
Good answer, Tramaine. Thank you. All right, we're gonna take another one here from Reggie Woodson. Reggie, go ahead.
What's good, Tramaine?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Congratulations on this big opportunity becoming a reality for you, and just since we spoke yesterday.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, yesterday's your theme for the fight yesterday was deep water, and you mentioned making that, giving Lean that feeling in the third round was what you mentioned.
Yeah.
So I guess I know you can't get into any specifics and whatnot, but how does this kind of a new opponent, how does that change, or what's the new theme for this fight?
New opponent, same mindset, same everything. How we going into war, it's a battle.
Okay, you were you had what's the sharp differences that you see? You were expecting one thing from Aleem yesterday, and now it's Leo. Kind of what's a strength of his that you think you have to be prepared for?
Sharp fighter. He's gonna be in shape. He's gonna be ready to come to the fight. Those decent body shots. But we're not gonna take that away. I will take that away.
All right, man. Best of luck to you.
Thanks, Reggie. All right, our next question comes from Mike Rosenthal. Mike?
Hey, Tramaine. Good. Hope you're doing well. The circumstances surrounding the situation is obviously part of the story. So basically, somebody tells you, well, Stephen Fulton's tested positive for COVID-19. That's the bad news. The good news is you get to fight for a world championship. What was that process like for you? You're probably thinking, oh man, this guy's sick, but I have this big opportunity. What went through your head?
It was bittersweet because Stephen Fulton, he prepared 8 weeks to fight for a world title. He's been dreaming that his whole life, and he didn't get the opportunity. So my heart goes out to him. And it was sweet on my end because I get to fight for a world title, something I always wanted to do my whole life.
It's funny how things work sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So most fighters have timetables and when they expect to fight for a world title. Before this happened, when did you think your time was going to come?
When I was like 23.
Okay, so you thought this thing was around the corner anyway, a world title shot.
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. Okay, thanks a lot. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. One more here from Carlos Toro. Carlos?
Hey, Tramaine. Thanks for taking time to talk to us. I remember last year, you and I talked right before your fight against Yanifel Vicente, which almost seems like a lifetime ago based on how this year has kind of gone on. And I remember you saying that you were expecting this fight to be, that fight to be kind of the one that catapults you into a world title shot. And now you're kind of in this position. You sort of had time to sort of sit down and just reflect on what the last 24, 48 hours must have been for you to go from, you know, fighting, not being able to fight for a world title on Showtime, and now suddenly you're thrust into the main event position.
I've been preparing for this my whole life, so it's regular for me. I've been here since I was 19 years old. So the last 40 hours, 24 hours is absolutely nothing compared to my whole life, or 2/3 of my life.
So you and Angelo share a common opponent, Neil John Taba now. Have you had a chance to sort of take a look at how Angelo did in that fight and kind of see more or less where your best plan of attack could be when it comes to preparing for Angelo?
Not really. Styles make fights, so you don't want to gauge the fighter based on the same opponent that you guys fought, because his style maybe work better with Tabano. My style may work better with Tabano. So you just look for the things that he does a lot, well, the mistakes. So I really didn't look at the Tabano fight at all, because styles make fight.
Gotcha. Thanks so much for taking time to talk to us. Best of luck this Saturday, and looking forward to seeing you in the ring.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. We got time for another question here from Keith Eidick, Boxing Scene. Keith?
I mean, how much were you able to study Angelo Leo, knowing that this possibly could have happened, and how prepared do you feel on short notice to fight a completely different opponent?
About a year ago, I had like the top 5, top 10 fighters on notice, so I always paid attention to all the fighters in my weight class. So I've had an eye on all of them for about a year or some change now. So it's not like randomly it just happened. I have my eyes on all these guys.
Did you intensify your studying him recently because you knew that at least this was a realistic possibility that you could wind up fighting him?
I intensified my thought process and the focus. Intensity is always there. I just bit down with my mind, my mental.
Well, how do you feel in terms of his abilities in comparison to Aleem?
He's a sharper fighter than Aleem. Looks like he has more experience as well than Aleem. And that's about it.
Thanks, Tramaine.
You're welcome.
Okay, Tramaine, thank you very much. We're going to let you go. Take a short break. We still want to get through Rais Aleem, and we want to hear from Angelo Leo as well today. And we do have to move along. The fighters have to prepare for tomorrow's weigh-in as well. So, Tramaine, thanks for taking a second opportunity to join the press here. We'll be back shortly.